So, you want to learn 07? This video is going to be broken into multiple parts, mainly composed of the clone, cool GUI, the best places to use these abilities, and some text that are useful. Oh, and before we start, I recommend you just go into the shop and get the dummy skin, because it basically doubles the effectiveness of your clones. I'll quickly explain how inject works, so just skip ahead if you already know. So there's three types to inject. There's aimless, there's pathfind, and there's cursor. Pathfind is the one you'll want to use 90% of the time, as it's definitely the best one and most consistent. The clone will simply just walk forwards and find its way through the map as it goes. Cursor is a lot rarer to need, but it's pretty useful if you want to try and take the chase off of a teammate and try and bait the killer away. In this clip, you can see the Jason turning around and using his E on my clone, wasting his time and his ability, as well as letting my teammate get away. And for the last one, aimless, I honestly never use this. I don't think I've ever wanted to use it on purpose. It might be good mid-chase, but the AI just usually runs into walls, and it's really obvious that it's a clone. So personally, I stick to pathfind or cursor for specific scenarios. Alright, so starting off with a clone. One of the main things you need to ensure is that you can break line of sight before you use it. Please do not just use it in the open, it's going to be really obvious. The killer's going to be watching out for it, and they'll see you. So you break line of sight, and then continue walking in a direction you would have gone, and use your clone. And as you see in this clip, my clone just follows the same route, and the killer doesn't see that I've gone to the side. Now, it doesn't have to completely be a wall. If you're in a dire situation, it can be something as simple as a tree, as the killer might miss it if you wrap around as you use your clone. This clip is a great example of one of those situations where there's nowhere you can go and you just need to try and survive. You can see how I wrap around this tree, use my clone as I'm going past it, and stay behind the tree to stay out of the killer's sight as much as possible. However, these situations aren't ideal at all, and it's definitely better to look for a wall that clearly blocks the killer's vision instead of a thin tree or rock. The last thing to make sure you always check is the direction you're running before you use your clone. You can see in this clip that I accidentally used my clone while still walking towards the wall, which led to it running straight into the wall and not moving, which meant I was completely open and he saw me instantly. So always make sure to run in the direction you want your clone to go before you use it, and keep walking in that direction until your clone is out and then you turn. So, for the cool GUI, there's two main situations where I like to use it. As we can see in the tree clip, the first situation that I like to use it in is when my clone has brought me time and space and I'm able to safely get it off and escape the killer. This buys you a lot of time in chases. Just make sure that the killer isn't actively running back towards you, and you should be able to get it off. Because remember, the cool GUI takes around 5 seconds to activate, so it's quite a while of you just standing still vulnerable. The second situation I think this ability is really strong is when last man standing is about to start. If you activate it as it starts, the killer will have to run across the map to you, and then as the X-ray ends, you're going to be on the other side of the map, which gives you so much time. Do be aware that killers with ranged abilities might try and hit you as they're coming over, so that's why I kind of recommend using it as the last man starts and not during last man, so it gives you more time for you to safely get it off. So basically, in summary, you either use it at the start of last man to get across the map, or you use it once you've made space with your clone and you want to get away from the killer. So, there's one really important tech you need to know of cool GUI, and it's the ability to cancel it by using an emote and then pressing space to cancel the emote, which in turn cancels cool GUI. You can see in this clip that I was watching where the killer could have came from and preparing my cool GUI to teleport away, but I noticed that the killer is not coming, so I cancel it and run away because the killer is still looking for me in the old spot that I had used my clone. So the second tech is called clone parrying, and I basically never use this one, so the only clip I have of something similar to it is from a long time ago. Essentially, it's when you're low enough for the kill animation to happen, and before the killer hits you, you use your clone, which causes the killer to be locked into that animation on your clone, giving you time to run away. So, there's certain spots that basically make 07 unkillable in Last Man Standing. If you go into the house on this map, and you simply just stand on the top waiting for the killer to come up, when he finally makes his way up and commits to chasing you, you drop down, shoot your clone out, and then you quickly tuck into the corner of the stairs. And at least in my experience, the first time you do this in any server, it has like a 90% chance of working. And like I said earlier, this might give you enough time to use your cool GUI and completely get out of there, basically winning the round. Now, on this map, come inside here and go to the top, and then watch for the killer, like last time, to come up the stairs and commit to the chase. And simply start running off and use your clone and then quickly tuck into the side. Like the last one, this basically always works the first time you join any server. and it's incredible because it gives you so much time, and the killer will likely run back in, like shown in this clip, and then you can drop down and loop back in as well. And the most mean part about this whole plan is that the second time you commit to running away, they might actually think you're a clone once again, giving you even more time to run, shown happening in both of these clips. Now, I don't think 07 is as strong on other maps, but another decent spot at least is here on the slope. You can send your clone out and then cut to the side, and usually they'll probably follow the clone. Ignoring the fact that I accidentally had my clone in cursor mode, so it literally just ran straight back to me. Usually this spot is quite strong, as the clone will cut forwards through the wooden area, and you can cut to the side, giving you lots of time and space. Well, that's the end of the guide. I hope you learned something from this, and thanks for sticking around to the end. See ya.